Thursday, May 16, 2017. My name is Frank Fortunato. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Yesterday afternoon, late at about 5 o'clock, the Washington Post reported that President Trump, in his meeting with the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov and Ambassador Kislyak to the U.S., divulged top-secret, highly classified information about a U.S. intelligence source in ISIS-controlled territory. Immediately thereafter, H.R. McMaster, the National Security Advisor, came out to the White House lawn to announce that this was completely false. This morning, while tweeting, President Trump confirmed that it was true, saying that he has the right to release any information, classified or not, that he wishes. President Trump leaves at the end of this week for his first foreign trip to the Middle East and to Europe, where he will be meeting with foreign leaders who, many of them, provide him with intelligence. Meanwhile, newly installed AIG CEO Brian Duperreault has made an emphatic commitment to keep AIG together as a single business. He says, "I recognize the value of AIG's multi-line structure. I didn't come here to break up AIG. I came here to grow it." This was a clear signal to activist investors such as Carl Icahn and John Paulson. He also commented that the reserves at AIG look pretty good to him. He said another important element is balance sheet strength, and based on my initial review, the reserves appear reasonable. He also indicated that he sees technology and data analytics as the future for AIG and is working with 2 Sigma, one of the backers of his former firm, Hamilton Insurance, to develop a next-generation insurance platform. The total cost of the platform will apparently be $250 million over 5 years, and a good faith installment payment of $37.5 million was made immediately by AIG to 2 Sigma. Intelligence officials and private security experts around the world say that new digital clues are now pointing to North Korea as the likely source of the sweeping Wannacry ransomware attacks that struck the West and other countries over the weekend beginning on Friday. The security experts at Symantec found early versions of the Wannacry ransomware were using tools similar to those deployed against Sony Pictures and the Bangladesh Central Bank last year, both of which were confirmed to have originated from North Korea. A Lear jet crashed near the Teterboro airport in northern New Jersey yesterday as it attempted to land. Teterboro is about 12 miles from Manhattan and is a destination for many private jets. The FAA said that the plane had taken off from Philadelphia International Airport and was approaching the runway when it crashed at about 3:30 p.m., about a quarter mile from the airport. The 2 members of the crew that were on board were killed. There were no passengers on board. Apparently, a number of cars were seriously damaged, if not exploding outright. The film studio Disney has said that hackers have threatened to release one of the studio's forthcoming movies unless it pays a ransom. Disney CEO Bob Iger told employees about the demand at a town hall meeting yesterday. He did not name the film, but sources are saying that it's the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. Iger said Disney is refusing to pay and that the studio is working with federal investigators. Iger says that the hackers had demanded the ransom in Bitcoin and said that unless they received it, they would release the film online in a series of 20-minute chunks unless it was paid. Ford Motor Company is set to announce a cut of 10% to its global workforce later this week. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Ford's profits have sank 35% during the first quarter to $1.6 billion as higher costs from warranties, recalls, and materials have eroded its profits. Last week, during the company's annual meeting, a number of shareholders pressed Ford management about the company's stock price, which has dipped 17% since January. Meanwhile, the rest of the S&P 500 has gone up. According to Bill Ford, the executive chairman of Ford, he said, "Look, we're as frustrated as you are by the stock price." And a couple of people have said, "Well, does the Ford family care about the stock price?" And the short answer is yes, a lot. Most of our net worth is tied up in the company, and stock price matters a lot to us. An explosion yesterday morning at a factory in Bavaria in the town of Eltmann in Germany has resulted in 23 injuries. The factory was owned by a roller bearings company called Schaeffler. This is in Schweinfurt, Germany, And anybody who followed World War II was aware of the Allied bombing raids on the ball bearing plants in Schweinfurt. This is a automotive supplier, a critical link in the supply chain for German automotive production. And the company is saying we do not expect any implication for our customers since 90% of our production lines are unaffected. As if United Airlines didn't have enough problems, the carrier is now having to change the keypad codes used by pilots and others to get into the cockpits. The previous passwords were exposed on a website. The airline sent a memo to pilots over the weekend telling them to use, quote, alternative security measures. Apparently, an airline employee inadvertently posted the cockpit access codes online. In a statement, United said it's using a number of measures in addition to the access codes to keep cockpits secure. They say that one method requires pilots to visually verify a person's identity before granting access to the cockpit. Most airliners have webcams installed over the door to the cockpit. It's reassuring that the pilot will be asked to visually identify somebody before letting them in. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.